Hey everybody, it's Eric with Catagoods, and today we're taking a look at a deck box that has been spamming social media, at least my feed, and a box that a couple people have actually requested that I review. So I went ahead, I bit the bullet, and I bought myself Arcane Fortress deck boxes. I have the deluxe, and then I have the standard here. We're going to run them through the usual tests. We're going to see, do they fit what they're supposed to fit? Can they pass a shake test? Can they pass a drop test? And ultimately, are they worth your money for the amount of annoying ads that they put out? Without further ado, let's dive in. All right, so what we have here is the Arcane Fortress Deluxe, which is simply just a 100 card deck box with a detachable magnetic token case. Or dice holder, whatever you want to call it. And then we have the standard, which is just a 100 card deck box. The price of these are pretty significant for what you're actually getting. In previous videos and reviews that I've done, a simple 100 card deck box at most is going to run you about $15, give or take, on the high end, on the low end, there may be a little bit cheaper, more expensive boxes out there. However, these are not cheap by any means. The standard here runs $27, and you have the deluxe, which is running you $31, which is honestly a lot of money for just a single deck box that holds 100 cards. Supposedly. We'll get to that in a moment. Now, that is just the single box. What you have to take into account is the shipping costs. Shipping on their website is $8.95. So you're suddenly paying almost $40 for this deck box here, which in my opinion, on just shipping and the box alone, it's not worth it. If you're paying $40 for this box, you better really want this box, or honestly just save yourself some money and buy, 2 Ultimate Guard boxes, 2 Gamegenic boxes, 2 Vault X boxes that I've reviewed previously on the channel. I think those are better options for your money because you're getting 2 for the price of, not even the price of 1. Now, if you do want to purchase these, you have to keep in mind that these 2 boxes aren't even going to get you free shipping. Even if you buy 2 of these for $31 each, free shipping is $65 on their site. So you have to go out of your way and potentially buy a playmat, like I did here, or their sleeves. But that runs into some further complications where if you buy, let's say 2 boxes and a pack of their sleeves, the sleeves are an additional $8.95 for shipping. So unless you break that threshold of $65, you're paying up to $17 in shipping, which is honestly just a joke and a giant scam, in my opinion. I understand $8.95. That's what I paid to get this shipped out to me. I was a couple bucks underneath the threshold of $65 with the 2 boxes and the playmat, and I didn't want sleeves because I have enough sleeves, so I just went ahead and paid the $10 or the $9 in shipping. So whatever. Just something to keep in mind is just a fair warning when you're buying these boxes, or if you're going to buy these boxes. If you really want them, buy a couple, at least 2 of these and 1 of these, or 3 of these, or 3 of these, whatever's going to get that threshold of $65 for the free shipping, because $8.95 isn't a lot of money, but when you just buy 1 box for basically $40, including the shipping, that's not worth it. Do yourself a favor and save yourself some money. Go elsewhere and buy boxes, unless you really want Arcane Fortress. Shipping rant, cost rant out of the way. Let's dive into the actual boxes. So what they come with is simply just a beautiful box with amazing art, not AI generated. They actually prove that. They link to their artist pages on their website when you're looking at them. So you can actually see who the artist is that drew this wonderful piece of work and go to their social media page and follow them or whatnot. And then, so that's really cool. And then you have your 2, I want to say, I don't know what material this is. It's not leather. It's bendy. It's not like a plastic. It's soft textured. They're nice dividers, and it's cool that they're not just dinky plastic dividers you get in some other products. They're good. dividers. So I'm a fan of these, and you get 2, and that's really cool. And they have these nice notches here depending on what orientation you have it in. You know, you can simply just get your finger in there and take it out, or get your cards out. So coming with 2 of these in every box is really cool. And then you have this nice soft microfiber interior that matches the color. I went with purple here because this dragon just is a total bamf. He looks cool. The world is in his hands. It is great art. And I like purple, the royal purple. It's a great color. And so I went with this option, and then I went with this white box for the standard because I liked the feathers. I don't care too much for the dragon on the inside, but I like the outside having the feathers, and maybe like an angel deck or something that would be really cool for. But one thing to note is the outside, this texture. Typically when you're buying like a Gamegenic or a Vault-X box, you just get a plain color box that is this similar material, and that's it. You know, there's maybe a little bit of a logo branding somewhere, but that's all you get. They added a nice etching of each art, you know, every color that they had available, and a different art style on the front, which is really nice. This one has that like galaxy star, you know, engraving into it, and then you have branding here on the top, and then what the box is on the side. So subtle enough, you know, it's not in your face with "this is a deck box from this brand" kind of deal. It's nice. I like it. Now, the deluxe is a deluxe because it comes with this detachable guy, which is, you know, supposed to fit some dice. It is nice. The magnets feel kind of strong here. We will get to a magnet test, but the first and most important thing about a deck box that we need to test is, can it fit 100 double sleeved cards like it says it can fit on their site? Well, let's take our stack here of 100 double sleeved cards. I use Dragon Shield standard sleeves with Gamegenic closable inner sleeves. That is the orientation I use for my dummy deck here. Let's see if it fits. That's amazing, actually. That is very impressive. I didn't have to squeeze any cards in. It actually fits 100 double sleeved cards. Props, Arcane Fortress, because there are a lot of deck boxes out there that I've tested that don't fit the amount of cards that they state that they will fit, and that's amazing. Now let's try, you know, we got these little dividers, you know, let's say this is a side deck or some tokens or something, and we just throw this guy in there. We still have a fair amount of play here. Let's grab a snap case. So just a Gamegenic snap case. Let's pretend our leader's in here, our commander. I mean, I can't complain. This does exactly what it's supposed to do. If it's a commander snap case, it fits 100 double sleeve cards. With this orientation, there's not much wiggle room, but if you wanted to, I could see maybe taking out these dividers. All right, let's take out the dividers. And let's throw our 100 cards and our snap case back in here. How much room do we have? Do we have a little bit of wiggle room with those up? Not much. You can maybe fit 3 or 4 more cards in here. It's very snug. So 104, 105 double sleeve cards. With a snap case, you can probably add about, I don't know, 10, 15 or so more cards with this width. So that's really good. Honestly, Arcane Fortress, major props to actually having a box that fits the amount of cards that your website says that it fits. Now, honestly, we have the double sleeve deck here. If a double sleeve deck fits, that 100% means that a single sleeve deck is going to fit. But just for those people who don't double sleeve their cards, we have, again, some Dragon Shields here, 100 cards, and we're just gonna throw it in. And look at that. There's actually so much room that you could potentially fit, I'm just gonna rough estimate here, maybe 25 more cards that are single sleeve. So like 125 single sleeve cards. That's really cool. There's a lot of wiggle room here. You know, maybe we want to throw our commander snap case and our dividers just because, and you know, we still actually have some room to play here for, you know, maybe 10 or so more cards. This is really cool, honestly. Really, really good job, Arcane Fortress, for delivering on your promise of fitting the amount of cards that it says it's going to fit. As for our little dice tray here, let's just get that guy out of the way. Let's just grab this. I have some spin down D20s here. I can fit 3 in that row, and then I just have some larger D6s that I recently received from a Kickstarter from Infinite Black in their 1-Up deck boxes. Yeah, we can fit. I'm not gonna do. Maybe I can close it with that. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you know, a good amount of dice can still fit in here. If you're using the smaller millimeter size dice, you could probably fit just a ton in here. Or if you just have a bunch of spin down dice, you know, for you Magic players out there, you can fit, I'm gonna assume, 12? 3, yeah, potentially 4 rows of 3. So we have like 12 dice in there, which is really cool. Or, you know, your D6s for buff counters and things like that. So nice. And then it just magnetically attaches here. So really cool. I'm a fan of the box. I'm a fan of the color so far. Let's give it our magnet strength test just to see what that's looking like. All right, so if you aren't familiar with my reviews, I always check the magnetic strength. You can check the chart up in the top right-hand corner here of the magnetic strength, what the colors mean. So just so you're aware. Now let's see what we got. Oh, that's interesting. So we actually have 4 magnets here and 2 here. So I'm assuming the magnets, the 4 on here, is because they're attaching to this. Let's verify that real quick. Yeah. Okay, so that's the difference here. This has 4 magnets, which is pretty standard, or I guess 8 magnets because there's the other side. But this one actually, the deluxe has 12 magnets because it's attaching to this box, which is really convenient. It's actually smart on them to do that because then you have that nice magnetic closure. You can see the magnets here, here, and then let's just flip this guy open again. You have the magnets here. This additional magnet is this here, this magnet right here. So just a heads up on that. And the magnet strength is pretty average. I haven't seen anything over the top in terms of magnetic strength. You know, your most magnets that are used across deck boxes have a similar orientation to this. Fair magnetic strength, nothing crazy. All right. So with the magnetic strength out of the way, really the next test that this thing needs to pass is going to be the drop test. Personally, I don't care about shake tests. Shake tests, in my opinion, are really just pointless because I don't know who's going around doing this to their deck boxes. You are far more likely to drop your box off of your table on accident, or, you know, a kid bumps the table, your neighbor, whoever, your buddy throws it across the room. That's far more likely than someone to grab it and shake the living hell out of it. So I will do a shake test for those of you who care about shake tests, but I think the true test for a deck box and its ability to protect your cards is if you drop it, or if it accidentally falls from a height of about 3 feet, you know, average table height, do your cards fly out? Because that is most important. Yes, your cards are sleeved, that's fantastic, good on you. But if I drop this and my cards go everywhere, I'm suddenly playing a 100 card pickup, and I don't want to play a 100 card pickup. That's annoying. My sleeves are going to get dirty and grimy from the floor that they fell on. Somebody might not be paying attention and they step on your cards. That's a big no-no. So this and all of the deck boxes I test have to pass a drop test because that's what's important. If this doesn't pop open when I drop the box, it passes. Even if it pops open just a little bit and my cards don't fly everywhere, because this large flap here is actually pretty genius because it's going to catch like that. You can't really see. It's going to catch like that when it falls, and my cards are still secure and not falling over the place. Unlike this little extra gap here of about an inch or so, isn't going to protect my cards from flying out. So, with all that out of the way, let's take a look at the drop tests and see if these actually pass or not. Alright, so with all of that said, let's get into the pros and cons of the Arcane Fortress deck boxes. Now the first pro, it fits the exact amount of cards that it's supposed to. It fits 100 single sleeved, it fits 100 double sleeved, and if I had triple sleeved, it supposedly fits 80, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it actually did. Now, the second pro is the design. Unlike your typical standard box that just has branding and a simple basic color, they went above and beyond and put in some nice etching or engraving of designs onto the front flap here, and then included nice art by actual artists, and then they even went and added dividers to match, which is just really cool. Not something that you see really at all, besides maybe Ultimate Guard doing collaborations with Magic the Gathering on their boxes, or your Waifu Artisan deck boxes. So for those of you who don't like Waifu Artisan deck boxes, Arcane Fortress might be up your alley. Now that those pros out of the way, let's talk about the cons. And the big number one con here is the price. If you are going to get a deck box that you want 100 cards and that's it, you don't want anything else, I can't recommend the Arcane Fortress deck box. We have a $27 box here, a $31 box here, and that's not even including the $8 of shipping. So you're looking at a $40 box that holds 100 cards, maybe 105 cards, and some dice. Save your money. Go buy a Gamegenic Squire, go buy something from Gamegenic or Ultimate Guard that's going to fit double that, and it's going to cost you the same amount of money. Sure, you don't get the cool dragon on the inside, you don't have, this nice little engraving, but for your money's worth, that's what you should be buying, not something like this for the price. Now the second con is they failed the drop tests. They failed the drop test. Yes, they pass shake tests, but shake tests aren't real. They failed drop tests. I dropped these multiple times, more than what is actually recorded in this video, because you guys don't just need to see there and watch me drop these boxes over and over again. They pop open. Your cards end up flying everywhere, and I can't recommend a product to protect your cards that doesn't actually protect your cards. Yes, you're probably very careful, and yes, you're not going to drop these, but on the occasional incident where somebody bumps it off the table and it lands at the right orientation and your cards fly all over the floor, that's just not, it's not worth it. So those are the two cons here. Now, with the pros and cons out of the way, do I recommend the Arcane Fortress deck box? I think it's entirely up to you. If you want a not boring monocolor deck box and you don't want to go for like a anime style or waifu artisan deck box, then yeah, the Arcane Fortress deck box is probably up your alley. They have this cool dragon, they feature really cool fantasy art with dragons, and then they have their first line, which was some stained glass, and I think those are really cool. But other than that, if you just need something to hold 100 cards, there's a lot better products out there. Gamegenic, Ultimate Guard, Vault-X. I did a video on them, and I think all three of those are better alternatives for what you're looking for. They're a lot cheaper than what these are going to cost you. So no, I can't recommend Arcane Fortress unless you are specifically looking for something that has fantasy style artwork on it. That's the only reason I would ever justify spending the money on something like this. It's there to hold your cards, and it looks cool, I guess. Well, if you agree, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. I really love to hear your opinion on whether you think these are worth it or not. Now, if you have something else that you'd like me to review, let me know down in the comments below. I'm happy to pick up something with my own money, give it a good, honest review, and let you know if it's worth it or not. Thanks for stopping by, Chaotic Goods. I hope you have a wonderful evening.